All right, now we're live. Okay, there we go. Hey guys, welcome back to the Left Lane Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Urban, and I will be covering the recent news from this weekend as we take a look at the Bristol night race and the results that have happened and what went on during the race. Eric Almirola started on pole after a wonderful qualifier Saturday before it was nearly rained out. And eventually that Friday night, the Xfinity Series took to the track with Noah Gragson beating the person who will be taking over his car next year as he moves up into the Cup Series, running the 42 for Petty GMS. Eric Jones will be in the 9 car for Junior Motorsports in the Xfinity Series, and AJ Allmendinger has won for the second year in a row the regular series Xfinity Series championship. And this weekend was a shocker. There was a lot of great racing. I did have a couple of concerns regarding the next gen car and how it raced at Bristol, considering that the whole narrative was flipped from where short tracks were more entertaining with the aero dependent cars, but with in the Gen 6 era, but now with the Gen 7 eras, they're kind of, snooze fest. But Bristol was really entertaining. I really enjoyed it. And there were some shockers this weekend. So for the first time in NASCAR playoff history, three non-playoff drivers completely swept, with Eric Jones, who placed 20th before the end of the regular season, winning the Southern 500. Bubba Wallace, who finished around 21st, winning at Kansas, and I don't remember where Chris Buescher finished, but he was the winner of the Bristol night race, the Bass Pro Shops 500, celebrating 50 years of Bass Pro Shops. And yeah, most of the night was really dominated by RFK. It seems that at tire wear was really unique, as those who were on new tires had a lot of end understeer. They were tight. They had a lot of trouble with the balance of the car. I remember even Ryan Blaney had trouble with his car where his splitter was dragging and then his wheel popped off. And so Jonathan Hassler, his crew chief, and his rear tire changer will be suspended for 4 weeks for safety violations and a uncontrolled tire that rolled out onto the racetrack. And surprisingly, he made it into the round of 12. Now, about the elimination, there were a lot of shockers except for Kevin Harvick, for those who were eliminated, because Harvick had a lot of bad luck and reliability issues during the first 2 races, and I held out for him at Kansas, but seeing all the issues he was having, it was kind of safe to say that his run at the championship was pretty much over when he crossed the line at Kansas. I didn't really see him making up much ground at Bristol even. Really was a must-win situation, and he failed to capitalize on it. But Tyler Reddick and Kyle Busch are the real shockers, considering I picked Reddick to at least move up into the round of 12, and some people even picked him to be a the phantom winner of the championship, one who flew under the radar. But Reddick and Harvick this year are multi-year winners. Harvick having those back-to-back wins at Michigan and Richmond, and then Tyler Reddick sweeping 2 of the road course races at Road America and Indianapolis. And it was just really surprising to see. I think a lot of the drama with 2311 and him moving to 2311 and RCR just kind of clouded things. And also later this week, last week, Kyle Busch was announced to drive the 8 for Richard Childress, and there will be another charter for that car. Richard Childress has said that Tyler Reddick will stay with the team in 2023. I think he's going to be in the 33. I don't think Richard's going to bring back the 29, but just a lot of drama. And Kyle Busch has had a lot of reliability issues with his Toyota. And I think almost all the Toyotas this year have had reliability issues, with Martin Truex Jr. losing power steering and during the Darlington race, and Kyle Busch blowing up twice in the round of 16, with him blowing up with around 20 laps to go in the Southern 500, giving Eric Jones the win, and him blowing up last Saturday at Bristol. And it's just really shocking to see. I would have been a little bit surprised if Austin Dillon would have made it in, but it happens. And so the results from this weekend: Chris Buescher is your winner, followed by Chase Elliott for runner up. Third is in William Byron, flexing a little bit of muscle in the playoff era, despite fading off a little bit after he got punted by Logano in Darlington last year at the Goodyear 400. Fourth is Christopher Bell. Fifth is Kyle Larson. Sixth is Ross Chastain. Seventh is AJ Allmendinger, the regular series, the two-time regular series championship in the Xfinity Series. Eighth is Cole Custer. Ninth is Denny Hamlin, and Kevin Harvick will round out your top 10 along with Michael McDowell in 11th, making another great run for Front Row Motorsports. 12th will be Justin Haley. 13th, Brad Keselowski. 14th, Chase Briscoe. And 15th, Corey LaJoie, who has had another great running with the Spire Motorsports cars. And another issue I want to get to before that, though, relating to ratings from the playoffs and stuff, is the round of 12 has been set. Texas, the one that will be demolished and reconfigured. I believe they're going to run Atlanta, considering that Marcus Smith has said that IndyCar probably won't have a future there. If they turn to a short track, I'll be a little bit surprised, but at least happy. But, it's just a matter of waiting to see, because after the 2023 race, they're going to start. I'm sure they'll announce their plans before then, but for now, it's just really up in the air on how it's going to get reconfigured. But yeah, round of 12 has been set. Your leader right now, Chase Elliott, has retaken the lead in the championship, followed by Joey Logano in second, Ross Chastain in third, Kyle Larson in fifth, and William Byron running out the top 5 in standings. And so far on the cut line, we have Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, and Ryan Blaney, who all are +4 above the cut line, and -4 below the cut line. Chase Briscoe in ninth, -6 Alex Bowman in 10th, Daniel Suarez -6 in 11th, and then finally Austin Cindric in 7th. And the races, obviously, this round, obviously the Texas, Talladega, and the Charlotte Roval will host the round of 12. I think last year, it wasn't Richmond. What was it? I know Kansas did the round of 8, but yeah, I'm having trouble remembering what race was before then. But yeah, I know Kansas was in a different spot last year, but now that Kansas and all those tracks are out of the way, now the field will be very interesting. I probably, even though I'm supposed to watch this for the show and, just because it's NASCAR, Texas has always been notorious for single file racing, not a lot of passing. So I'll probably watch a little bit of it and watch some highlights and to see what I can get for you guys. But other than that, it's not really I don't expect it to be entertaining this weekend. I'll be kind of shocked again if it is, but it's a pretty poor racetrack in terms of racing. Facilities are great, but in terms of the product, it's not really good. And Talladega will be a wild card playoff race. So anyone in the round who can win, it will be locked into the round of 8. I'm betting on the Penske cars being dominant at these super speedways. I know that Chevy has kind of swept all of them, has won most of the races with Atlanta and Talladega earlier this year, but I think it's going to be a Penske day when they come to Talladega Super Speedway. And then the Charlotte Roval will end off the round of 12. And then we head into the round of 8 where we will set the lineup for the championship 4. But for now, we're just looking on the outside, on the inside to see who can win it. I'm picking this weekend. I'm going to pick Texas. I'm picking Willie B to at least finish within the top 5, considering that he finished 3rd last year. And Kyle Larson also. It was a Hendrick-dominated day last year when they ran at Texas. I'm picking Austin Cindric or Ryan Blaney to win the Talladega race, since Penske has been really good at the super speedways lately. And then the Charlotte Roval, I'm picking either Chase Elliott or Kyle Larson, since Larson won last year in his championship season, and Chase Elliott also won in his championship season. It seems that the Roval kind of predicts a little bit from the last 2 seasons on who the champion's gonna be and stuff in terms of performance and dominance, but overall, the round of 12 is somewhat better than the round of 8, in my opinion, considering the amount of entertainment. And speaking of entertainment, the ratings from the playoff race have been down 20% since last year. I think now with football season coming in the NFL, retaking the um not the box office, but retaking the media and entertainment market, that NASCAR really puts itself in a bad position when it tries to go against the NFL. They're two different sports. One's been around for over 100 years, the other is going to be 75 next year. But I think this was brought up by a NASCAR YouTuber, The Iceberg, before I came here. I was watching it a little bit, and he brought up an interesting proposal for the playoff era to run some Monday night rate to at least run the Monday night races. So, obviously keep the Saturday races. If they're night races, they're not going to be with the NFL. It's a Saturday night race. It's not Sunday. But there's been a lot of talk because NASCAR has been proven to do really well on Monday night. It's kind of like a prime time for people to hit the TV after a pretty busy Monday. And yeah, it would just be interesting to see, because the 2023 schedule is already released. They can't change anything, but I really hope to see that NASCAR takes in. I think it'd be cool if NASCAR takes into consideration for the playoff era to run Monday races, since one, a lot of the Sunday races can sometimes be rained out, and two, it's just more convenient to work with like Monday at noon or something like that. I know not Monday at noon, Monday night. I meant that was a bit contradictory, but yeah, overall, I think this weekend kind of focused more on the ratings, and so far, every win in the playoff has come from a non-playoff drivers. That's the takeaway from today. We'll hit up Texas, Talladega, and the Charlotte Roval within the next 3 weeks, and I will hopefully be able to get everyone information. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next week. Take care.